The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Division of Consumer Services is the state's clearinghouse for consumer complaints, information, and protection. The department regulates various businesses and protects consumers and businesses from unfair and unsafe business practices across a wide range of market sectors. And today we have Lenora Spence with us, who serves as the Community Outreach Coordinator. Lenora, thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
So how does the Division of Consumer Services protect consumers?
So we do that a few different ways. We are a state agency, we are a regulatory agency. So we regulate various businesses throughout the state of Florida. Some, most people don't know, are regulated at all. We regulate motor vehicle repair shops. We regulate pawn shops. We regulate travel agencies. We regulate charities in the state of Florida. So for example, with charities, every charity in the state of Florida must send us audited financial reports every single year, right? And we compile that information and put it on our website on a tool that we call Check a Charity. And so if someone is asking for donations for their charity, for whatever the cause may be, and you may be wondering, well, where is my money going? Is this charity an actual legitimate registered charity? That's what we're here for. And you can check our website and the tool that we have to find out more about that charity. Also, for example, motor vehicle repair shops. People don't know where to go or who to call if they feel like they've been ripped off, if they feel like they've been overcharged. Well, that's another reason you would contact our office. So we regulate tons of businesses and really just honestly any business complaint. If you want to complain about any business in the state of Florida, you can call and contact us. Now, if it's something that we regulate, we can actually do action. We have mediators that'll work with you. We possibly could help you get back a refund, that kind of thing. If it's not a business that we regulate, we'll point you in the right direction and do the best we can to help you.
So if someone wanted to file a complaint against a business, what's the process?
So we have a call center and they are working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and you could literally just call. You could just call them and say, hey, I have a complaint about this business. You know, what can I do? Or you can also go on our website. We have a complaint form on our website that you can fill out as well.
So what are the top complaints that you see coming in?
So the main one is unsolicited phone calls, right? It's one that it's really a nationwide problem, but here in Florida, we get a lot more really because of the senior population. The senior population is really targeted when it comes to like scammers and things like that. And we also regulate telemarketers in the state of Florida. And so we have a program that tries to help people, relieve them of some of the calls and things they receive from legitimate telemarketers. And people are like, well, why am I still receiving calls? Well, because they're not from telemarketers. They are from scammers. They are people who are trying to rip you off and steal your money and things like that. So that's really the number one complaint we get is I keep getting these phone calls that people are offering me mortgages or car insurance rates, and I don't even have a car. I don't have a home, you know, things like that. So we get a lot of calls about that. We get a lot of calls about landlord-tenant issues. And the interesting part about that is we don't regulate landlord-tenant issues. No one does. It's a civil issue, but people don't know who to call. Again, you can call us. So we have information on our website. We have information that we can provide people to let them know what they can do. We get a lot of calls about petroleum. And we regulate the gas pumps in the state of Florida also. We don't regulate the prices, but we do regulate the gas pump. And people don't know, if you go to a gas station and fill up your tank and you drive a mile down the road and it stops working, what do? You would contact us, right? And we would have an inspector go out and see what's going on. Our inspectors pull skimmers out of the pump. So those are the main things we get a lot of calls about on a daily basis.
So if there is a business that you see a lot of people are complaining about this business, what happens to that business when they get a lot of complaints through your office?
So it depends, right? If it's a business that we regulate, we can post fines on them. We can maybe revoke their license if it gets to that point. It just really depends on what the business is and what the violations are. For example, I'll go back to motor vehicle repair shops. There are instances where consumers are owed back a refund. So we help them through that process. We have mediators that work with people to investigate and figure out what went wrong and how do we fix it. And here's what happened. Here's your money back. So usually each year we help people get refunds back in excess of like $2 million.
Okay. Yeah, I have one that I would love to file. complain about. What are the top scams? Because you mentioned scams before
Yeah.
that consumers should be aware of these days.
Telemarketing is the top one, right? It's really the number one scam. And when we talk about seniors, there's one scam in particular that always comes around. It's called the grandparent scam. And what people do is they call, a person up and say, hey, grandma, hey, grandpa, it's your grandson. I've been arrested and I need you to bail me out. But don't tell my parents. Don't call them. Don't do anything. And they do that because it's a scare tactic. They want you to know the sense of urgency, okay? They want you to just send the money right away, no questions asked, because if you do inquire and you do ask your family member, you'll find out this is not legitimate. This is not the person. And so we always try to tell people, when I go and talk to seniors especially, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, you can have a code word with your family members so that you know if this is actually my family member calling me or not. Or use clues like, well, my grandkids don't call me grandma. They call me Nana or something like that. So this can't possibly be my grandchild calling me. So there's things like that you can do to kind of help relieve you of some of those scams. Online purchase scams are big, where they'll have fake websites, and it'll look like it's Amazon.com, but there's something that's different that you may not notice, something small and minuscule. So things like that. We get a lot of calls and complaints about. AI scams are really big right now. When we go back to the grandparent scam, maybe it sounds exactly like your grandchild because of the AI technology, and that makes things even more confusing. And you really don't know what to do in that case. So that's why, like I said, the code words and things like that, asking them questions only your family member would know, those are kind of the biggest ones.
You really have to remove emotion in order to be alert and to know what's happening and just take a second step back.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your insights today. And if anybody has a business complaint or needs more information about a business that the department regulates, please visit fdacs.gov or call 1-800-HELP-FLA.